Are you a company owner? Do you mistreat your employee? Do you abuse or underpay your workers? Is your company lacking morals? Is your company spying on other companies to steal their information and sell it on the black market? Well, worry no more. Introducing Understanding Business, the 15th edition, the book that hopefully turns you somewhat humane again. After this advertisement, you will understand ethics is more than legality. Ethics begins with each of us. How to manage businesses ethically and responsibly. How to set corporate ethical standards, corporate social responsibility, and so much more. Hi, I'm Mr. LawMaker, and I'm here today to tell you about the relationship between ethics and legality. To truly understand this, we have to know what legality is. Legality refers to the narrow scope of what is written in the law, what is allowed and what is prohibited. Legality is enforced by law, which represents the minimum standards of every behavior. Every country has its own individual sets of law and regulations, which is written, established, and enforced. By contrast, ethics refer to what is right and what is wrong in human conduct, set higher expectations of honesty, fairness, and integrity. This represents a dichotomy where some ethical standards are not written into law. Though surely, we can trust that every company would uphold these moral standards, even if they are not written by law, right? Absolutely not! Laws represent the minimum standard of behavior, while ethics set higher expectation of honesty, fairness, and integrity. Something may be legal but is still unethical, such as exploiting loopholes, misleading customers, or mistreating employees. Every company's action is safeguarded by law, but that would not stop them from trying to maximize their profit, even if that means compromising their ethical standards.
In 2023, Grab was the center of controversy. The Singaporean-based multinational technology company continuously received complaints from its drivers and was alleged to determine the commission rates that drivers must pay to the platform, typically ranging from 20 to 25%. While this technically did not violate any written laws in the countries Grab operates in, it sparks an ethical dilemma of whether or not Grab is deliberately profiting from their quote-unquote partners. According to Bloomberg in 2023, Grab drivers in Indonesia, Malaysia, and Vietnam have protested against the continuous policy changes that directly affect their income.
Ethical behavior is the foundation of relationships between businesses, customers, employees, and society. When people only ask, is it legal instead of is it right, social trust begins to erode. Ethics can be understood as the standards of moral behavior, that is, behavior accepted by society as right rather than wrong. Ethical decisions often require considering how actions affect others and whether they promote fairness and respect. As a company owner, it would help to ask yourself 3 questions before deciding on a decision. Is it balanced? Is it fair to all stakeholders involved? How will it make me feel about myself? Would I be proud if my actions were public? And is it legal or illegal?
Legal or illegal?
Every great company starts with great people, and every great scandal also starts with people. That's why, before blaming corporate culture, maybe we should check ourselves.
Hi, I'm Mr. Murdoch. What you just saw there is an example of how corporate ethics start with each individual in a company. When you face an ethical dilemma, just ask these 3 simple questions from Ken Blanchard and Norman Vincent Peale. 1. Is my proposed action legal? 2. Is it balanced? 3. How will it make you feel about myself? If any answer makes you uncomfortable, congratulations, your conscience still works.
Corporate violations of ethics are by no means new. Once upon a time, Enron Corporation was the coolest name in the energy world. They were rich, powerful, and lying through their perfect white teeth. Behind the scene, top executives hid billions in debt through fake accounting tricks, while everyone else played along. One woman, Sharon Waskin, said, felt that something was off. Watkins was determined to get to the bottom of this and decided to write an internal memo direct to CEO GuanLi, warning him of the fraudulent accounting practice. In 2001, Enron collapsed spectacularly. Thousands lost their job and savings, but Watkins' bravery exposed one of the biggest frauds in corporate history.
Chevron action led to the formation of Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002, forcing companies to take transparency seriously, or at least pretend to. The Enron story proves something simple. Unethical control don't just appear overnight. They are built when everyone chose silence. And ethical control? They start with one person daring to do the right things, even when it's inconvenient, unpopular, or dangerous to their career. So next time, when you are unsure what's right, don't wait for a policy manual or a team meeting. Just stop and maybe ask yourself, would I still do this if my grandma saw it on TV?
Copyright 101.
Congratulations, you've made it this far, which means you're probably not evil yet. But how do you actually manage your business ethically? Well, dear future billionaires, it starts with understanding that ethics does not magically appear in your company. It has to be taught, practiced, and rewarded. Here to help you understand this idea is Miss GuanLi.
Hi, I'm GuanLi. What you have heard is right. Ethical management is all about creating a culture where doing the right thing is normal, not optional. Managers have to lead by example. Because, let's face it, if your boss cheats, your employees probably will too.
To make this work, companies need a code of ethics, like a corporate Bible that say, "Thou shalt not steal data from your competitors." For example, this girl boss is trying to write a book for a company. It outlines what is acceptable behavior and what isn't. We stay true to the trust that consumers place in our brands, always delivering quality products and practicing honest, transparent marketing. And beyond business, we act responsibly as a global citizen, complying with international trade laws, protecting natural resources, and supporting the communities where we live, work, and grow together. And remember, ethics training isn't just a boring HR slideshow. It's about creating an open communication, encouraging employees to report unethical behavior without fear of being turned into next week's meme.
So before you chase that quarterly profit, ask yourself, would you want this on the front page of the newspaper? If the answer is no, maybe, just maybe, don't do it.
So we've talked about how to manage businesses ethically. But wait, how can we manage ethically if our employees does not even know what that means?
You mean we can't just say we value integrity and call it a day?
Of course not. What you need is a corporate code of ethics, the shiny handbook that makes your company look so responsible, even if you're still figuring it out. Here to help you understand this, I introduce to you Miss Loopy Loopholes.
My name is Loopy Loopholes, and I'm here to introduce 2 flavors of ethics for the modern company. Option 1. Compliance pays ethics goals. Perfect for when you just want to avoid jail time. These codes focus on laws, rules, and punishment, because nothing says moral integrity, like fear or getting sued. Option 2. Integrity pays ethics codes. Now, this one's for companies that want to pretend they have a heart. It's not about avoiding punishment, it's about creating a culture of honesty, fairness, and shared accountability.
These ethics play an important role in every company's success. Once upon a time, Uber, the world-famous ride-hailing app, at one point privately valued at roughly $60 billion and operating in around 70 countries, seemed unstoppable, until its own workplace turned into a PR disaster. On 19 February 2017, former engineer Susan Fowler published a blog post describing repeated sexual harassment, retaliation, and discrimination that she faced, and how HR failed to act. The post triggered an independent review. The independent investigation, led by former U.S. Attorney Eric Holder, interviewed hundreds of employees and produced a report with dozens of recommendations to overhaul culture and accountability. Around the same time, reporters revealed tools like Grayball, software Uber used to evade law enforcement in countries its services faced regulatory scrutiny, which added to the mounting legal and PR pressure. Facing investor pressure and the Holder findings, Travis Kalanick stepped down as CEO in June of 2017, and Uber's board accepted the Holder's reports of recommendations, rolled out mandatory training on harassment and inclusion, created an ethics and compliance program, and later hired Darryl Kurowski as CEO. These moves were structural, not just for PR, intended to tie leaders to behavioral, but also financial metrics. Similarly, a company like Facebook faced massive ethics failure in 2018. The company found themselves in a scandal when Cambridge Analytica exposed that the personal data of up to 87 million users has been harvested and used for political profiling and targeted ads. Technically speaking, a lot of these actions were within the lax rules of the time, but ethically, it was an absolute nightmare. So after pressure, Facebook agreed in July of 2019 to pay a $5 billion settlement fee with the Federal Trade Commission. This payment was made over privacy violations and was required to implement sweeping changes to its privacy and data practices. Facebook started naming new compliance officers, creating stronger oversight mechanisms, and promising more transparency around data use and responsible AI programs.
Now that you have learned the importance of ethics, it's time to actually make the corporate code of ethics.
Step 1. Start with some managerial responsibility. Ethics must always start from the top. Step 2. Secondly, mix in some personnel training. This allows everyone to understand. Third, whistleblowers protection. These are the real MVPs who still care to speak out on problems, so their protection is important. Step 4. Add in awareness. Suppliers, customers, employees. Everyone should know about these values. Step 5. And the final ingredient, enforcement. Because rules mean nothing if no one's scared to break them.
Yes, corporate social responsibility, or as CEOs like to call it, how to look nice while still making a ton of money. CSR means that your company cares about much more than just profit. It's about balancing business practices with responsibility to customers, employees, and investors, and sometimes the planet as well. Here to talk to you about CSR is my dear friend, Yi Mentor.
Hello, I'm Inyi Mentor, here to talk about the 4 main levels of CSR, or what we like to call it P, E, O, and L. P stands for philanthropic, ethical, economic, and legal. Philanthropic, donate money to make yourself look generous. Ethical, treat people fairly, crazy concept, right? Economic, make profit so you can keep doing the first 3. Legal, at least follow the law. But don't get it twisted, real CSR isn't just throwing money at a problem or doing a photo shoot with orphans. It means integrating ethics into your actual business decisions.
For example, a company like Nestle can stop a charity campaign or planting a few trees. True responsibility means redesigning product packagings to reduce plastic, ensuring fair and sustainable sourcing for cocoa and coffee, improving water usage and community access in areas where they operate, and treating farmers and workers as long-term partners instead of low-cost suppliers. When a company does CSR right, it builds consumer trust, brand loyalty, and long-term profit. But when done wrong, well, it's become a costly PR stunt, yet thus collapse the moment customers look beyond the advertisement.
So next time your company makes a donation, ask yourself, is it from the heart or from the marketing budget? And if it's the second one, don't worry, just smile for the camera.
Welcome back to our show. Now that your company is hopefully ethical at home, let's raise the difficulty level. What happens when you go overseas? Do you keep your ethical standards or do you turn them off at immigration? To guide us through this global journey, please welcome the one and only Miss Jana International.
Global greetings to everyone. Here is the thing. International business ethics is where things get messy. New countries, new rules, new law, new culture, new values. Something that is normal business practice in one place could cause a full-blown scandal in another.
So basically, what's considered smart negotiation in one country could look like corruption in another?
Exactly. That's why global companies need a universal ethical framework, a core set of values that stay the same everywhere, even when local laws are weaker or more flexible. Because legal doesn't always equal ethical, especially on a global stage.
Can you give us some examples? You know we love a good checklist.
GuanLi, ethical global companies should stick to things like no child labor, ever, fair wage and safe working conditions, respect for local culture without exploiting it, environmental responsibility across all countries, transparency with suppliers and business partners. Whether you are in Paris, Bangkok or Sao Paulo, the rules stay the rules. Remember this, everyone. Ethics do not stop when your passport does.
Let's be honest, being ethical overseas is really hard. But in the long run, integrity helps to build trust and reputation for your company. So maybe skipping that bribe is worth it, unless you really enjoy Joe food.
This has been Understanding Business, turning you from corporate villain to slightly better human being. Remember, do the right thing even when no one's watching, because somewhere we probably are.